G'day guys, Josh here. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Welcome to episode 18 extended. We have the loose economy. Obviously, this is not financial advice in general. I don't take in consideration your personal circumstances or anything like that as well. Now, a lot of people may have had my other episode 18s, the loser economy and stuff like that, of what makes you lose, referencing to a lot of systems that are get rich quick streams, or schemes or whatever, where they're designed to get the person that's selling the scheme rich and to make you poor. It's an example of a system that makes you lose, essentially. And there's a lot of things that make you lose, like gambling, porn addictions, and now we're going to talk about alcohol and drug addictions and how they make you lose money and how they separate you from other systems to make you entirely dependent on that system. Hence why it's an important cog of the loser economy. Now, alcohol and drugs, yes, they can be enjoyed recreationally, okay? There are some good drugs, obviously. You know, alcohol being one of them, obviously. There are also illegal drugs. And the drugs and alcohol section is referring to these illegal ones, okay? And the alcohol's illegal, obviously. But, you know, basically the drugs I'm referring to are highly addictive and highly illegal. Now, there are things about caffeine, obviously, as well, where caffeine, the funny thing is with caffeine is that the person who's reliant on caffeine and the person who's not addicted to caffeine, they do the same amount of work. It is actually crazy to study where a person that do the same amount of work have the same amount of energy. So the caffeine give you extra energy myth is it's a funny myth, okay? On that one as well. But anyway. You also got smoking as well, which can be probably included in this as well with nicotine and stuff like that as well. So let's just talk about the alcohol section first. So alcohol addiction is actually very depressing, okay? Generally hits vulnerable people. And basically what happens, alcohol makes you feel good. Makes you feel good about yourself. And removes good judgment or impairs good judgment. So basically you feel everything you feel that you're doing is good to yourself in a way, okay? It's kind of like a dopamine fix to get that high. And, you know, it's very easy to get addicted to it. Now, what alcohol does is that it makes you smell bad, obviously. It obviously impairs you physically and mentally. I like how cool. And basically, it decreases your ability, your productivity, to focus, etc. When you're addicted to it, basically everything goes to it. I mean, you've seen some pretty crazy alcohol addictions. I mean, you got Sadokist as well. Basically lost his entire job due to his issues with alcohol. As Thursday says in Inspector Morse, alcohol is a great servant, but a horrible master. As you can see here, once it's mastering all your systems, it's horrible at it because basically pretty much you're just losing everything, and all your networks that you were in touch with, you just basically lose sight of it, and they exclude you purely the fact that they don't see, like, basically all they see is this you being drunk and unfocused and not really benefiting them in any sort of way. And also you miss those kind of things as well, where like your focus isn't there, where you'll miss important events and stuff like that because of it. And, you know, I feel really, really bad for people with alcohol addiction and stuff like that, is that they have to really focus super duper hard on themselves to make sure they don't get to that place again. And I've known a few people with alcohol addictions as well, and have, you know, kicked the habit as well. Also impacts you financially as well, because it is expensive. If you overdose, obviously, stomach pump, hospital costs, alcohol costs. I gotta say overall, like, you know, alcohol is actually up there with the financial thing. It's not up there with gambling. Obviously, we're gambling where you can just burn through money like it's nothing, but it's up there as well with alcohol and drugs as well. Similarly up there as well. Now, with drugs is kind of a similar impact as well. But drugs, you can get, it's similar to gambling where you can get into criminal activity because you want that high. And people have mentioned, methamphetamines being one of them, where people will rob stores. um they just go all erratic and feral to get that shot when they have withdrawals from it. And there's also other hard drugs as well, where basically you can't, when you go to rehab, you have to have another similar addictive drug with less side effects to wean you off of it, because if you go straight cold turkey, you'll die. And that's the things that drugs and alcohol do, is that trying to go cold turkey for some of them means that you could be in some serious health issues as well, because your body has adapted to it and been reliant on it. So you can see that it has significant health impacts on you mentally and physically, because people are trying to look for that free high. And then when you get that free high, you want it want it more and more, and you take more and more. Like, painkillers is another one that people can get addicted to. And, like, they can kill you as well. This is just talking about legal stuff as well. It can kill you if you overdose. The things is with drugs, I'm going to say right now, is that only take them if your doctor tells them to. Okay? Don't self-medicate. Okay? Like, the only things I would say self-medicate on is just saline solutions and stuff like that as well, to clear your throat and stuff like that. Those are alright. But if it's like drugs, like paracetamol and stuff like that, only take them if your doctor really tells you to. And only take the directed amount. Even though it gives you that high. Because your body, like, this is the logic I use, your body gets resistant to it. So if you only take it when you absolutely need it, more the better, because then it'll work a lot better. You'd have to take more of it. And when you feel like you can ease through the pain, then you just stop taking it bit by bit. Okay? And it's like kind of like a progress bar on you being able to, be kind of like a progress bar of achievement that, you're not living with pain anymore, that kind of thing. I know a lot of people may think differently about it, especially when you get that addiction mindset. It's completely different. But alcohol and drugs can really, really tear your life apart. With alcohol and drugs as well, let's talk about the social aspects. Generally, recreational social aspect can be quite fun. It's liquid courage, as I saw it. There's a lot of self-help in becoming more of an interesting person without alcohol. And I heavily recommend that people look at some of these. So what I'm talking about is that you want to have some sort of personality and the courage to do so without getting drunk. So not being afraid of other people's judgments of you as well, and also being courageous to state things and talk about other stuff as well. A small talk can help as well. Obviously, talk about grand ideas and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you with the social aspect with alcohol is that, some guys would be like, if you don't talk about business or stocks, you're going to be a poor person for life. Those people are like, obviously get rich quick schemers, and they obviously try to rope you into their newsletter, and it's a system, disorienter. But with social aspects with alcohol as well, you want to try to become more fun in general, because the social aspect from being known as a person getting too drunk and also like just addicted to drugs and being a druggie means your social circle will become less and less, and less people will hang out with you unless they are doing the same activity you are. So I can tell you right now, okay? Yeah, when your friends are all druggies and stuff like that, it encourages you to do it more, because peer pressure and stuff like that, and the fear of disappointment if you don't do it, then like you have no one else left, pretty much it, and that sort of stuff. And it's kind of a sad state of society at times, where people don't want to associate with people who are going through serious problems. And I guess at the same time, like, a lot of these problems have to be resolved in yourself, and a lot of people don't realize that. It's also with mental issues and stuff like that as well, like stress and stuff like that. It always has to be resolved in yourself. Even if you use someone else as a distraction, it always comes to yourself as being a person to overcome and do it. A lot of psychologists say this as well. You can go talk to psychologists and psychiatrists and counselors. It's usually how you solve your issues is talking about it to someone, and then you process what you're saying, and you'd be like, oh, the moment of clarity, that sort of stuff. Obviously, I'm not a qualified psychologist or anything like that. That's how it worked for me. Okay, it could work for different other people as well, but that's the sort of stuff that you will go through as well with being alcohol and drugs. Is that your social security becomes less, a social security, social circle becomes less and less. You same the people who are doing the same harmful thing that's losing their money are coming of you, and that's pretty much it. Obviously, as well, so you've lost socially, you've lost financially because miss work, less focus, miss work, more money spent on booze, etc. Lost physically and mentally. Basically smell, hygiene, etc. And this is how like alcohol you lose, okay? So you don't win anything from this alcohol and drug addiction. The drug dealers and the alcohol people who serve you alcohol are winning, but you ain't winning. You're just going down a fast track to losership, and you're being basically sucked up every single penny. Now, alcohol and drugs are probably the lesser amount of the loser economy, but they're still a significant part of it because a lot of people do struggle with some sort of drug or alcohol addiction. Now, like I said, probably the main addiction overall out of all these episodes, because I've done 3 of them as well, the one that's probably the highest is probably gambling, and then porn, and then drugs and alcohol. And all I'm going to say is they all have the same kind of thing, is addiction. When you get addicted to that high, which generally I'm going to say right now is that the dopamine fix that you get from various stuff like that, you may want to realize in life is that you don't like, even though dopamine fixes are very, very um, obviously addictive in itself, in life in general, you want to be making some sort of production or some sort of progress in a life skill or anything like that as well at any time in life, whether it's going to be educational, meeting new people, going to new places. I think the best advice I've ever had is like, live in those uncomfortable situations and you'll thrive and learn new things and become a better person for it. Using these quick fix solutions such as alcohol, drugs, and anything like that to get to those areas to have the courage to do so is actually stealing from your progress. So I think this progress is having the courage to do something that you wouldn't really dare to do or anything like that as well. I'm not saying to take up skydiving or anything like that. I'm talking about, little baby steps and little achievements over time, even, gluing up to big achievements. Like for me, for my stress issues as well, obviously a little bit about myself, I basically got a panic attack at one of the Fremantle Docker games. Okay, it's an AFL game, because I skipped the breath and I just went into this like cycle and went to full panic attack mode. And over time, what I did is, even though I had these stress attacks and stuff like that, I still went to the games bit by bit as best as I could and stayed for long as good as I could as well. And obviously, some points became uncomfortable, and I was just had to calm myself down bit by bit. But eventually, I think it was the final round of that season. I stayed for the entire game and got really into it towards the end and wasn't panicky at all. And sometimes my brain reminds itself, "Oh, you panicked last time you here." And I'm like, "Last time I was here for a home game, I didn't panic at all." But overall, like the stress and stuff like that, because I was moving jobs at the time, could seem overwhelming and stuff like that as well. And it, sometimes I went day by day worrying about some random thing that could have never possibly happened. But I was just really sketching, I don't know, it was just super, I don't know, I was just focused and fixated on it. And bit by bit, I just went to relaxing music, did some, yoga, did some meditation, stuff like that to try and help me out. There's a few key aspects of it that did help me out, which was definitely going to a psychologist and counselor as well, which allowed myself to realize why I was becoming so stressed in the first place and what I was actually doing to myself that I didn't realize. It takes a bit of time to realize it as well. And that's what these loser economy things are meant to highlight, is that don't go looking for that high. Okay, just the true progress is within yourself, of discovering who you are, discovering what you can be for people, and basically discovering new things over every single day about yourself. Yes, guys, that doesn't have to be huge, but little by little. Have a great day, guys, and have a good one. See you guys later. Peace out. Bye.